name's Jeremy Patton. I own United Martial Arts in London, Kentucky. This is Charlie York. I want to share with you my favorite half guard pass. It's usually the first one I try to do. It's called the no hands pass. We call it that. It's not because you're not using your hands, but you're using your legs against their legs. And you're using both your arms and your body to pin the guy to the mat, his back flat to the mat, and crush him. So you're not taking away from that and using your hands to try to push his knees down or whatever. So I like it because it's efficient. I'll be here. He's got my right leg. If he's got my right leg, I'm going to get a right underhook with my right arm, and my left hand gets an overhook. And I want to squash him flat to the mat. I'm going to put my shoulder in his face and keep my left knee tight to his body so he can't slip in a full guard. And I just put my chest to chest, shoulder in his face, and I want him squashed. And then what I do is I take my left foot, my free leg, and put it inside his knee and try to make space that way. Stick my butt up in the air a little bit and then try to wiggle my right leg free. I can go to mount like this, or my favorite is I'll take my right knee and drag it across, and I have an underhook here, and then I'll come out to a side control. I'll pop up like this. He's got my right leg in half guard, and I need to get his back flat. So I'm going to dive in. If he's got my right leg, my right arm gets an underhook. My left hand gets an overhook. I clasp my hands and drive him so that he's flat, his back is pinned to the mat. I put a lot of weight on him. I want to squash him, make him tired. And then I keep a shoulder in his face. And I take my free leg, I'm going to try to put it inside his knee. And I'm using my legs to try to pressure his to get him to loosen up his grip. I'm going to start piking up, sticking my butt in the air, bouncing. And then I can either take my knee straight to mount and get underhooks, or the one I prefer, if I can get it. So once I get him here, I take my free leg here, I bounce and pike up, and I drag my knee across this way. Now I've got an underhook. I'll try to control this forearm and slide out to side control, or side mount this way. There's Charlie was mentioning, how do I get the over/under? We'll go over that some other time. But for now, maybe he's not aware of what I'm doing, and I'm just going to dive in with an over/under. I'm just going to go like that. Okay, it's a good way to practice it. So you're here. He's got you in half guard. He's got my right leg, so my right hand goes underneath. I just dive in, over/under, this way. A good example of this pass being used even at a high-level competition would be Dan Henderson versus Jake Shields. It was a Strikeforce fight. I think it was last year. And Jake Shields does this pass numerous times on Dan Henderson. So it just goes to show that it's not just a beginner move. It works in all levels of competition. It's a really solid move. I think the key is to take your time and be patient, because at first, if your opponent has a lot of energy left, he's not real tired, he can try to buck and roll you when you're piking up. If you feel that happening, if you feel like you're off balance, just drop back down and squash him, and then just start over. And just keep doing that, and he's going to get more and more tired, and eventually you'll get it. So don't expect to get it like right away. Watch Dan Henderson versus what's his name?